what's going to happen here. When you violate people's due process, when you pull people off the street and you start dragging them and hurting them and not abiding by the Constitution, when you start doing all of that, people get upset and angry.
Is that so?
Remember what
You
the
don't
Civil Rights
say.
Movement was about.
Who the fuck are you?
The Civil Rights Movement was about these very kinds of protests.
It's like that guy that was practicing with the trombone. Who the fuck are you?
1,500 active duty soldiers are on standby for
That's right.
deployment to Minnesota.
Ain't fucking around. It's enough.
Federal immigration agents and protesters
Because Minnesota makes California look like fucking Hawaii vacation time. Now this is ucis.gov/citizenship/learn-about-citizenship/citizenship. So this is the title of this you can find on Google is let's try it this way. We try different ways here. I'm a lawful permanent resident of 5 years. So I like that you have different chat people there. Now, this is common sense stuff, right? You say, well, I think people know that. No, I think the crazy motherfuckers out there, the thugs, and the people who invade. By the way, I'm agnostic, and that's never going to fucking change. But people have a right every Sunday to go to somewhere to worship in peace. If you're going into church, you better be quiet, and you better be praying to Jesus or Yahweh or the God of gods and not making noise. That's what I think. That's really disrespectful, okay? It really is. And I'll never go back to Sunday Mass, but if I had to, I think I was remember one time Kali UK showed me a church where people were listening to on their headphones, and all kinds of colorful headphones were on. Like, was this AI? What is this thing what was this thing I was seeing? I had no idea. I'm a lawful permanent resident of 5 years. So this is information that's very, very important, okay? We'll look together, okay? Naturalization is the way that an alien not born in the United States voluntarily becomes a U.S. citizen. The most common path to U.S. citizenship through naturalization is being a lawful permanent resident, LPR, okay? Lawful permanent resident. So if you're LPR for at least 5 years, for more information on determining the earliest accepted filing date for your naturalization application, see the USCIS Early Filing Calculator. Before you can apply for naturalization, you must meet certain eligibility requirements depending on your situation. Different requirements may apply to you. Now, if you've committed horrible crimes in Mexico or somewhere else, some other country, not Mexico, maybe over the Atlantic Ocean or somewhere else, at some point, someone's going to find out. Now, here's what I haven't checked the old news archives. Here's what I think happened, okay? I think when it came to Joe Biden using ICE, they say, oh, Joe Biden's looking for this America's most wanted criminal who used a chainsaw. I mean, I don't know if Jose was legal or not, but the man chainsawed his wife. But let's pretend, okay? Let's pretend an illegal immigrant used a chainsaw on his wife. We're looking for this person, and ICE agents are standing by to capture this horrible person. Now, that's the way the news coined it, right? When it was Joe Biden was looking for America's most wanted. When it's Donald Trump, oh, ICE agents are coming to Minnesota for some reason, and Mexicans are worried. It's like, that's the way the news coins everything. Remember, same bullshit, same thing that's happening, right? Same thing. Except the news says it one way for Trump and another way for Biden and Obama. That's how it is. So here are the requirements for lawful permanent resident. So we'll take a look. We'll see what the requirements are. Can we do that? Is this going to be a fuck you and a half? Let's take a look together. You must be at least 18 years old. Okay, so the kids in cages are fucked. They have to go back. Form N-400 application for naturalization. Show you have been a lawfully admitted permanent resident of the United States for 5 years. Demonstrate continuous residence in the U.S. for at least 5 years before you file Form N. Now, these are things that your immigration lawyer should be able to cover with you, okay? You have certain rights, especially if you get your visas, and you have to qualify for visas, right? So, physically coming into the United States, if you have a passport, if you have a legal way to just enter, first of all, find a legal way to enter the United States crossing the border, okay? Don't carry any stupid contraband that the customs are gonna get you for, okay? It's like there's border patrol agents, okay? That's what they look for. Show you have been physically present in the U.S. for at least 30 months out of the 5 years immediately before the date. So 30 months, you could be vacationing, but you have to be there for 30 months, okay? So what is that, 2.5 years? Show you have lived for at least 3 months in a state or U.S. CIS district having jurisdiction over your place of residence. If you are a student and financially depending on your parents, you may apply for naturalization where you go to school or where your family lives. Show that you are a person of good moral character and have been a person of good moral character for at least 5 years. Yeah, I wonder how these sick bastards who have killed and raped and murdered and stolen, I wonder how they've been able to prove, quote unquote, that they're good people. Have knowledge and understanding. Okay, you have to be able to read, write, and speak basic English. Now, we had a proposition, I think in the 90s somewhere, Prop 187. I think it was either 96. No, it might have been 2000 or 98 or 2000. It might have been 1998. Might have been around the time that we lost Sherman Block for Sheriff Lee Baca. So it was requiring children in elementary schools to start learning English, and the proposition passed. So you have to learn it. Even if we still have DMV handbooks in multiple languages, you still need to know English. And I think English might be required for driver's tests. I talked about the driver's licenses, so I'm not playing around here, okay? So you have to read English, write, speak basic English, have knowledge. So there's ESL. You can also take ESL classes, and they're not expensive. You know what I mean? Have knowledge and understanding of the fundamentals of history and of principles and form of government, U.S. civics, and most importantly, take an oath of allegiance to the United States. That's it. Now, these things take years. Now, here, let's see, additional resources. Let's see what we got. We got thinking about applying for naturalization, 10 steps to naturalization, filing fees. So there's different things, okay? I mean, it took me, I lost my damn $50 check for my driver's license. Now, the AI overview says that you can get a green, it takes 5 years. Now, a green card holder, so you have a green card holder, or 3 years if you're married. So I'm sure I could find a lovely woman overseas to marry me, and then we can figure that out. If married to you through the initial path to permanent residency itself, getting the green card varies wildly from months to many years, depending on the visa type. So that's why you need an attorney. That's why I tell immigrants, you got to get a damn attorney and show all your paperwork, not just about papers, but all your paperwork that you've had from your country. Okay? Like everything. And then the immigration lawyer will look it over and tell you what you need to do. So you got the path to permanent residency green card. You can apply for a green card after 1 year in the U.S. And then family-sponsored employment. 5 years permanent resident, married to a U.S. citizen, 3 years. Processing time after applying for naturalization, N400. It takes about 10 to 12 months for approval, but can vary. So there's no single timeline, but it's a multi-stage timeline. So all you have to do is this is what I say, you get your fucking attorney, okay? The immigration attorney will tell you what your rights are and what the timeline looks like and what you can do, okay? And there's room for change. There really is, okay? I don't know if serving in the military could shorten the time. That's another option that could be considered. There's new laws that are passing all the time. They're trying to force people to the drafting thing to go back. I was like, no. And no driver's licenses instantly. That's bullshit, okay? As it is, we got the kiosks over there to kind of give you your card right away, but I tried that. It doesn't work. So that's it. Look, Minnesota's going to get cleaned up. Somebody's going to fucking jail, and that's all there is to it, okay? And hopefully this one won't get age restricted, but I wanted to kind of provide a slightly lighter tone than the last time, because as a Mexican-American, someone who stands by Cesar Chavez, I see these Star Trek actors, Tim Russ making fun of Trump being dumb. Hey, Donald Trump knew about 9/11 before it fucking happened. And he knew about Iraq being there for years before we wasted our time over there. So what do you think? You think Trump is that stupid? People made fun of Alex Jones about the frogs turning gay in the water. That's actually fucking true. And as well as the chemtrails. So now These people aren't jokes anymore, are they? Now you ain't laughing no more because you know what's going on. Meanwhile, you ask the Democrats for a straight answer. They go, blah, 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 blah. Oh, Trump bad. They give you the same stupid answer. They can't give you any answer. You know what I mean? Walz, what is it? I saw a movie, I Am a Communist for the FBI. That was a classic movie from Warner Brothers. I am a communist working for the FBI. That sounds like Tim Walz. I mean, him and his $1 million suitcases. So look things over. If you know somebody who is applying, tell them to keep on being persistent and get it done. And from this point forward, do something different.